Hey guys, I know this is probably getting a little ridiculous by now, or just maybe all out fun, but I got some new watercolors. You want to see them? I literally feel like I just ordered these, and they're already here, and they came clear from Sweden, so what's up with that? How do they ship things so fast? This is from Jackson's, and it says, "Happy unboxing." I love that. But before I show that to you, I want to show you a couple other things. I got some super thin washi tape that came in a package with other washi tape, and this is a lot. And this is not necessarily washi tape, it's more like painter's tape that they use for, I don't know, what's that called when you pinstriping. Anyway, super thin tape. I thought it would be fun to try some stuff with this and see what we can come up with. It's actually not that much tape. This thickness, you know what, let me just show them. There you go. There's all the thicknesses of this pinstriping tape. And we'll try that out maybe this time, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what the day is bringing. And then I bought these to support this author. And I don't need coloring books. They are awesome, and my grandma absolutely loves them. So these will be gifts for her. Probably one for Mother's Day, and then I'll save one for her birthday. I just felt like I wanted to support that whole cause. Okay, on to the watercolors, which we really don't need right now because, yeah, I literally just finished this list that I showed you guys in the last video. And need to get to all of this because I'm really anxious to get to all of this. But this showed up and boxes are distracting. So let's get into it and see how awesome it is or not. I'm sure it's all awesome. I know it's all awesome because I ordered it. Ta-da! Wow. Not very much stuff for a very expensive little box. I did it. I bought me a 12-pack of the White Nights because who knows how long we'll be able to get these. Of course, right after I did this, Kimberly Crick is getting together a box of these for me. And she made sure, knowing that I had ordered these, that the colors she's putting together for me will not be the ones that came in this set. So this is kind of an interesting palette because you can use these flat like this, but to use the lid, it lifts these up. So I wonder if that would stay down if, yeah, feels like it would stay down if you were messing in with those. It definitely will. I'm pushing pretty hard. So that's, yeah, that's interesting. Let me see if I can show you, let me get you a flat surface here. So here's a book. So when it's flat on the desk, see how it's, this part is lifted up. But anyway, that's what I was talking about and why I was punching it. I'm going to go ahead and swatch these with my new salt method and water that you guys have been exposed to now for a couple of videos, and I'll explain which colors they are when I do that. We've recycled this box. It's a Schminke box. Can you guess what's in here? Ta-da! I couldn't help myself. I got the Volcano Red and the Volcano Yellow. Other than some of the Schminke paints that Diane sent me in that really big palette that got kind of messed up, which I actually kind of fixed a little bit already, I don't have any Schminke colors, and these super granulating ones seemed right up my alley, at least right now, so we have these two. Interesting, it looks like there's a label over a label here. I wonder if they do that for selling in the US or what. Now I want to rip the label off and see what's under it. Come on, what you got, what you got? U.S. remarks. Okay, so contains isothiazolinones. I have no idea. Isothiazolinones. Beats me. Conforms to ASTM blah blah blah. And that's it. Okay, so yeah, it's just the label. Made in Germany. PY 159 and PR 108. I've been staring at these a very long time. I had to cut out like 2 minutes of footage just there. I was just trying to read all the stuff on the label and whatever. Alright, just in case you're like me and haven't watched a million unboxings of St. Petersburg White Nights paint, the paint number is on the pan, but that's it. So we will have to get the information off here, and it's very, very tiny right there. So this yellow is PY35, light fast 3 stars, opaque. But look at the difference in the fill levels on these. Kind of interesting. Both of these are hard as a rock, so definitely nothing in it that has stayed soft. So 3 stars are high light fastness And looks like we can read the box for that information. It'll be a lot easier than trying to read that tiny stuff on the labels. So the triangle is non-staining, semi-staining, and staining. You see that? There's the triangles. So this one is semi-opaque, right? Nope, that's semi-transparent. Oh, they don't even have a semi-opaque. Interesting. So semi-transparent, non-staining, and granulating. Okay, I think I get it. Interesting little cases they have here for this. Now, how do you get it back out? Oh, okay. Interesting. While I was doing this little process, this is also a PR108. This is the cadmium red light, and it's the same pigment as the volcano red. It'll be really fun to see how different they are based on, I don't know, how much they ground the pigment. How does that work for granulation? And then I forgot until I dumped this upside down to get the crumbs off in the trash, and this fell out, that this one keeps falling out, and it looks kind of weird. I'm not sure what happened, but Kimberly Crick gave me some gum arabic, and one of you guys said that I should try and use it to the bottom of pans to keep them from falling out. Well, anyway, if I ever get this open, I will try that. Wish me luck. Swatch time. I have my Etcher A4 sketchbook. Same old, I've done it all in here. Lots of swatching. I haven't seen that one yet. That's coming up. Anyway, lots of fun stuff in here. And this is the back side of the paper. I have not found any difference in the front side or the back side in this sketchbook. This is not the perfect sketchbook. It's just their more affordable version. I love it. It's my favorite. Got salt handy. We're going to do our new way of swatching, starting with the White Nights, and we have space for the 2 Schminke paints down there at the bottom. One quick thing, do you guys mind watching this in time lapse, or would you rather see this in real time? Please let me know in the comments below, because I film it in time lapse, and if this might be something you want to see in real time, I could film it in real time and then just speed it up for certain videos and offer it for real time for those of you interested. So please let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate that. Just to preface, every single one of these colors in this set has 3-star light fastness, which is their highest rating. That first one was cadmium yellow medium, PY35, opaque, and non-staining. Second one there is cadmium red light, PR108, opaque, non-staining, and granulating. Third is emerald green, PG7, transparent, and staining. Next is cerulean blue, PB35, semi-transparent, non-staining, and granulating. Next is the raw sienna, PY43, semi-transparent, non-staining, and granulating. Next is the sepia, PR102, PR187, and PBK7. It is semi-transparent and semi-staining. This one is the volcano red, Schminke's volcano red, PR108, super granulating. It is semi-transparent and semi-staining with 5-star light fast. Moving into Indian Gold, PY150 and PR101, it is transparent and semi-staining. This one is followed by the Carmine PR19, which is transparent and staining. This one here is Sap Green PY150, PG36, PBK7. It is transparent and staining. Moving on to the Ultramarine, it is semi-transparent, semi-staining, and granulating. Followed by the Burnt Sienna, PBR7, which is semi-transparent, non-staining, and granulating. Last but not least, for the White Night set is the Payne's Gray, PBK7, PB15, PV23, semi-transparent, semi-staining, and I got some in the Volcano Red. Sad. Followed by the Volcano Yellow. This is highly light fast, fully transparent, fully non-staining. I figure it is time to do our buff titanium mixes with these 2 super granulating paints, because that's what they're for, right? This is that palette I just received in the very last video. These are the pans I poured myself, these 4. Look at the gouache. When I poured that pan, I thought I filled it really full, so it definitely shrunk up, sucked into the middle, got all kinds of interesting, so we'll play with that later and see, maybe not later in this video, but later in life, and see how that worked. But for my buff titanium mixture this time, I'm going to use this one, the Daniel Smith one from this little set. In all these previous swatches where I've mixed with buff titanium, I've used the Roman Schmal version, but I want to use this one. I've used it before in some of my other paintings, and I think it's really fun. Why do I mix with buff titanium sometimes? I don't know. Just seems like an interesting thing to do, so I'm going to do it. I added a little bit more of the volcano red here because I used it all up before. And it opens every time just nicely without spewing out everywhere, but this yellow spewed out everywhere. So this is still from the first day of swatching. But you can see on this super slick plastic palette, it flaked up right there. So it'll be fun to see how that re-wets. In fact, let's just do that right now. See if we can re-wet all these flakes. Yes, we can. Just incorporate them into the watery mixture. Man, that re-wets so nicely. I love it. I don't know if that's enough water. Probably not. Let's add some more. What a pretty color. Do you guys consider buff titanium a color? I know some people are like, nope, if it's white or cream or black, it's not a color. So this volcano red is not re-wetting very easily. And I actually wondered about that because I thought about putting some of this in a half pan so that so that I wouldn't risk too much paint, and having a half pan of it, maybe I could add that over to my Prodigal Son's super granulating palette, but I wasn't sure how it would re-wet, and I haven't looked that up on anyone else's channel, so if you guys have knowledge about that, let me know. Okay, next one. I put 2 layers of volcano red there. Did you guys see that? Did you notice? Etcher paper is very rough actually, so adding a little more moisture than you're normally used to with some of your cheaper paper is a good idea. See how the big chunk re-wets. It's okay. This one, even straight from the tube, was not great at a pigment load, but some pigments are just not. All right, I'm gonna clean my brush, get one more load, and do another layer. That'll be in that palette a while, I can tell already. Okay, we'll leave that there and see what kind of opaque mix that turns into. Why do I love them so much? No idea. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that to dry, I did make a swatch sheet that will fit inside this palette, so I'm gonna paint that real quick. It's actually kind of amazing how much I depend on these little swatch sheets that I do inside my palettes. I lay them out next to my palette when I'm painting every single time, and I look at them, even though, for example, with the Himi Mia palette, I have used it so many times now. I don't even know how many times, over 50. So I'm very familiar with all the paints, yet I still look at my swatch sheet for reference. I just depend on them. So I always make sure that I have them in my palettes. And it's fun now doing the gradients and the salt effects, and then I've left it here in time lapse because it's so cool to watch how it dries over time. Isn't that neat? I was impatient at one point and I tried to blow on it and it blew off the lid here. That was kind of funny. I don't know if you guys caught that, but you can see that salt effect really coming out as it dries. Pretty neat because at first you don't think anything's happening on some of them, and then you just sit and wait and eventually something happens. Here are the buff titanium mixtures, all dry. I like the volcano red one. The volcano yellow one is pretty too. Just a little bit more subtle. And, oh, I forgot to brush the salt off these. Hang on, let me do that. Here's the swatch sheet. It's so fun to do this in water and then add salt. Look at it. They're so much more interesting than I used to do them. And I found myself really actually looking for pigment information on my swatch sheets. So I may have to redo some of my older ones so that I have that, because now that I'm actually more interested in pigment information and more knowledgeable, I often find myself looking that up, and it would be great just to have it on my swatch sheet. So pretty. I love it. All right, let's do a painting. That should be really fun. I really wanted to try out some of these thinner tapes that I just got, so here we are. My scissors didn't want to cut them. I had to get my other scissors out, so I didn't actually try tearing these, but I wonder if maybe they won't tear very easily. I'll have to try that later. But I tried the 3 small sizes. There was one size, I believe, even smaller than what I put on here. So I left the smallest out of here. And then I'm just blotching in colors that I think that might look good, that I like, and putting salt on them because, you know, why not? It's a salty day, I guess. And while this was a very fun and relaxing process, and I could not wait to tear the tape off to see what it looked like, I do want to do an actual painting where I am trying to match colors and whatnot for this paint. So that will be coming up on the channel, along with a couple other fun comparisons using this paint. So make sure you subscribe down below. I'll probably tell you that one more time. Also, if you're having a good time with me, hit the like button too. It makes me feel good, helps my channel out, I've heard, and I appreciate it. Thanks. So what kind of fun, relaxing paintings do you guys do if you don't want to get too serious about a scene or something like that? Do you do any kind of abstract scenes like this? What do you guys do? Let me know in the comments below. I've asked you a few questions in the comments already, so you may have to keep editing your previous comment, but I appreciate it. I like reading them. As far as the paint goes, I was a little concerned at first because I felt like maybe it wasn't re-wetting very easily, but I think that it was, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But I had no problem doing this part of this painting. Every paint re-wet. I did not put the cerulean blue on this, however, and that's a harder to re-wet paint anyway, with a pretty low pigment load as far as, I don't know, it's just one of those that's a light pigment, I guess. So I didn't put it in this particular painting, but I had fun. This was great. And we can almost take the tape off here, coming up very soon. Time to peel the tape off, and what I realized is when I put tape down, I usually take my sleeve over my hand and push it down so that it stays better, and I kind of just went like that with my hands, but I didn't push it down really hard, so I'm curious to see how much bleeding under the tape we're going to get. Let's see how... Oh wow, this is coming off so easily. Wow, no bleeding on that, and we'll just keep going, and can't wait to see how this all turns out looking. I don't know if you guys noticed my Etcher sketchbook, and it's very noticeable in the last several pages, has this edge where it's, I guess, not sized correctly or something, but the edge is really struggling. Thank goodness this is just a sketchbook. If this were more professional paper, like an Arches block or something, I would be really sad, but not too big of a deal in the sketchbook considering it's just the edges, and I often just tape those edges anyways. Not a deal breaker. Definitely will still always use an Etcher sketchbook, at least so far in my experience, but something to take note of. One thing I wish Etcher would do is release a soft cover sketchbook with less pages. Interesting. I wonder why. Oh, that came off because I pulled that other one off. Anyway, I wish they would release a soft cover sketchbook with less pages, something that I could take with me that isn't so thick and super thin cover, something that you could like fold back on itself but still have this paper in it. That would be spectacular. I'm gonna try and find a way to contact them and suggest that. Wow, that looks awesome. That's so fun. I thought about getting either a white gel pen out or something to maybe draw doodles in it, but I kind of like it as it is with just the salt effect. So this was not a serious painting, just fun, but I have used these liners that were given to me in that last video for everything I did today. So everything here is using these liners, including that. I used the brush pen for this dark line there, and all of this labeling, and then I use the small one. I am going to do a mixing chart with these 12 colors back here, just like I started, but haven't finished yet with my Roman small ones. I really want to get to these. They're calling my name. I just have a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of projects going on, videos I want to get out to you. So if I started a Patreon membership where maybe I just do these extra things, would you guys be interested? Let me know in the comments below, because it's something I've been considering for a very long time, just doing all this little extra stuff over on Patreon and getting to hang out with you guys some more. I remembered I was going to compare the two PR 108s, right? They're very, very different. Look at them. Wow. So it does say that this one is granulating, cadmium red light, PR 108 granulating, but obviously when you compare it to Schminke's, it is not super granulating like the super granulating volcano red PR 108 is. So really fun to see what they can do with different pigments. I should say it's really fun to see what they can do different with the same pigment, because this is absolutely the same pigment, very different effects. I like the hue of this one better. It actually looks more like this carmine hue than it does the cad red light over there, but yeah, both PR 108s, go figure. So I think I'll probably go do a lot more research with these two paints. Well, I mean, I've done a lot more research. I've watched all the videos on these and all of the pre-mixing, not the pre-mixing, but all of the DIY mix videos. There's been at least several from Kimberly Crick out, and then one from someone else. I think maybe Natasha Newton did some mixes. I don't remember, but I want to go basically rewatch Kimberly's video for sure, jot down some notes, and make my own mixes of these. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm a little concerned about drying them out in pans, so I think I already asked you guys to let me know down below, and hopefully when I go rewatch some of Kimberly's videos, maybe something will be mentioned on that about if I can do my own convenience mixes with these. Can I go ahead and do some half pans? I don't want to do full pans of these, I don't think, because, I don't know, they're precious. And of course, now these are on sale right now on Jackson's website, but it's only like $1.30 less than what I paid, so I wasn't too sad about that. Talking your ear off at the end here, as usual, but I will be comparing these White Nights to the Sonnets that I just received in that last video, so make sure you're subscribed with all notifications turned on if you don't want to miss that video. I think that'll be really fun. When I very first used these and opened them out of the package, they seemed a little hard to re-wet, a little bit hard to use, except for some of them were easy like that one. But when I used them again today, they were great. So maybe there was just a film on top of them that I had to get through that first time. Of course, this cerulean blue is harder to re-wet, and looks like I got it pretty dirty there, but I'll just leave it. Anyway, okay guys, I'm gonna let you go. I'll see you in the next video. This was way fun. Can't wait to see you in the next one because it's gonna be way fun. What video lately is not fun when it has to do with watercolors, right? Okay, talk to you later. Bye for now. I literally feel like stop wiggling already. Nu, leer, and storgen. Super granulation. Alright. Same pigment as the Volcano Red. How do you get this open? I suppose this is some kind of child lock that is also adult proof. Okay, this definitely needs to go earlier in the video, so make sure you do that. Editing. Editing person, that would be me. Look. Her little nose is stuffed against the edge. Oh, I'm gonna bug her. Oh, I did bug her. Hi, Daisy.